Good afternoon, viewers. Once again, I am Raju Upadhyay from CIMAGE College, Patna, Department of IT. In continuation to graphical user interface of Java, today I am going to talk about the concept of checkbox. Right. So, first of all, we'll understand what is basically a checkbox is. In Java, checkbox is a graphical component that can be in either an on or off state. That means if it is in on state, it can be considered as true. And if it is off state, it can be considered as false state. So it's a kind of a toggle button. That means by clicking on the checkbox, it changes its state from on to off. And if it is already off, then it is going to change their state from off to on state. So before starting with this, we need to understand what is a class by which we can create a checkbox. So obviously in the Java hierarchy, we are having a class created by system itself that is called JCheckBox class, right? Using this because it's a again it's a component of swing package. So we are going to create a JCheckBox class object, and by nature this particular class is extracted from component class, and obviously it has implemented certain interfaces like item selectable as well as accessible, right? So we'll understand everything in detail through the code itself. So let us go to the code window where we can understand. Or in fact, before starting with the code, we can discuss something about the JCheckBox class constructor. And obviously, if it is a class, so it might have certain set of constructor, right? And after that, we will talk about their methods, and then we will be talking about the code. So as a constructor, it has ideally three different kind of constructor. If you create a default constructor, right? If you're going to create a default constructor, that means it is going to create a checkbox, but that checkbox will not have any text or image right side of this particular control, right? So we can create a checkbox later on. We can set the text to that particular checkbox by using the set text method. Or ideally, in general, what we do, we create a checkbox along with a label. For that, we are going to have the second kind of constructor, that is a one parameter constructor, and that parameter will accept string data type as an argument. That means whatever you wanted to display as a label along with the checkbox, you can write it. While creating an object, you can pass that particular label as a parameter, right? Now, ideally, nowadays we are getting checkbox, and as a part of right hand side of the checkbox, instead of going through the text, we are getting the images. So you can create an image using the icon. So first of all, we will make use of the image icon class object, in which we will load the image, which will have some sort of text, and that can be loaded to the checkbox. So these are the three important constructor for the JCheckBox class. One is the default constructor, another is a string argument constructor, third is it can be icon type of constructor, right? Now, as I mentioned, every class has some set of methods. So that might have a method like, if I wanted to change the label of any text box, we can have a method called setText. At any point in time, we can make use of the setText to change their label, right? Now, we can change their size of the checkbox by setting two parameters, the width and height of the checkbox in the form of pixels. Now, by default, this control is visible to the user. If you wanted to make it invisible, sometimes it happens, depending on certain action, we wanted to hide that control from the user. For that, we can make use of the method called setVisible. And as a parameter, we are going to have false, right? And if you select a particular text, so obviously we are going to select the text that is control. But what is the mean of that selecting a control? In order to understand that, we are trying to get the label associated with that particular checkbox. So in order to get this, we are having another method called getText, right? And at any point in time, we can have their state. whether it is selected or not selected. For that, we are having a method called isSelected. So isSelected method is basically going to return the status whether the checkbox is selected or not selected, right? So these are the concept of checkbox and their constructors as well as their important methods. So now we will be talking about their implementation part. So I'll be explaining this implementation part in my next video. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. And side by side and next to this particular video, I'm going to release another video related to how to create a checkbox. That means what is the implementation of checkbox using the code. Thank you very much for watching this particular video.